Reality Ventura. Hey, Dom here. Want to talk to you about our 7-day media fast coming up, where we are going to be shutting off all media as a church in our own individual lives in order to pray and in order to listen. Sometimes you do a food fast, right, where you abstain from eating and then instead pray. This time we are going to be abstaining from media in order to pray. And here's the heart behind this. Sometimes when you have an overexposure to too much noise in your physical ears, you get something called tinnitus, where you get this crazy ringing in your ears. And it can be temporary or it can be permanent. I had it temporary recently, and it got so bad that the ringing was so loud I couldn't really hear what was happening around me. By the way, I had a little thing removed from my nose. Don't worry about it. It's fine. The ringing got so bad that I couldn't hear what was happening around me. And so what I had to do is I had to quiet everything out, quiet everything down. No loud music, no headphones, no loud TVs, no loud noises for a week. And the tinnitus eventually came down and I could hear at a normal level again. This also happens in the spiritual realm, right? And in our internal kind of like listening, where when there's so much noise coming in, so many voices coming in, we get kind of spiritual tinnitus to where we can't even hear the voice of God. Because God's voice is not in the earthquake, it's not in a mighty wind, it is in a whisper. So it's still and it's small, which means that everything else needs to quiet down if we're going to be still enough to hear his whisper. That's what this 7-day media fast is about. Anybody who's participating in it, we are asking you to shut down anything that is a little bit noisy in your life. Shut down social media for sure. Shut down news media for sure. That means watching news media, YouTube news media updates. Turn off the notifications on your phone that you get news updates from. Podcasts where you're listening to people rant about the news or talk about the news. It doesn't have to be ranting. It could be really good discussion and helpful discussion about the news. Reading the news. Would also encourage you to consider shutting down podcasts that aren't about the current events. Billy Hunter was mentioning, I listen to this podcast every day about the Civil War, but it's kind of noise right now, and it prevents me from like being still and hearing the voice of God. I would encourage you to consider shutting some of that stuff down. Maybe some TV shows that you watch, or maybe all the TV shows that you watch. If you're reading books that aren't helping you still your heart to hear God, maybe consider putting that book on a pause for this week. And the idea is that we are then instead praying, reading scripture, listening to sermons maybe is part of what we're doing here, but not so many over and over and over that you don't still yourself to just hear God speaking you. We really want to give ourselves space to pray with him. Listen to worship music, sure, but not over and over and over so it's overstimulating. Read scripture, absolutely, but don't just read. Pause and listen and meditate on, take in what is there and pause long enough to listen. We want to pray, but not just talk. We want to stop talking so that we can hear God's voice. So we're starting this on June 20th through the 26th. And in order to help facilitate it, we as a church are having nightly prayer and worship gatherings, 7 p.m. at the church building, outside in the parking lot. We are not going to be broadcasting those on YouTube Live. They will just be on site, 7 to 8 p.m. Nightly, starting Monday, June 26th at 7 p.m., going all the way every day through, including Saturday, and then ending with our last one on Sunday, June 26th. So starting Monday, June 20th, going all the way through Sunday, June 26th. Hope to see you there. God bless you. Looking forward to this. This is going to be a powerful time.